Starting out with the injuries, both Rob and Matthew will be listed as questionable for the game. They will not participate. It's kind of been the plans all along. Ernest Jones, with his knee kind of bothering him, we're going to hold him out this weekend. Look forward to getting him back and being ready to roll after the bye. Laro Murchison, Kobe Durant, and Puka will be listed as questionable. And then that's pretty much it as it relates to the injury report for those guys' game statuses. We're, like I said, kind of same as earlier in the week. We kind of knew that he was not going to participate all week, and we'll take it all the way up until game time.
In terms of the swelling, how has that progressed? Where is he at?
I think it's progressing well. I think it's doing good.
Is he able to grip a football? What is his sort of ability in that regard?
Making good progress every day.
Would you prefer that he not play so he has the time off during the bye?
I think you want to just get his feedback, Maria, see how he's doing. You certainly don't want to close the window. But again, we've prepared if Brett's, going. He's done a really good job, throughout the course of the week so far. And so if there's anything that would leave him susceptible to injury or further damage in this, then that's a non-negotiable. And it's where you defer to the doctors, but certainly don't want to close the window on him.
Have they given you any indication that there's a possibility of re-aggravation?
Here's what I would say. The way that I'm going about that, they have given me that wouldn't be something. But again, like you guys have all asked, if you can't grip a football, what are we talking about, right? Especially when it's on the throwing hand of a guy that's his special trait, and that's a natural thing that you need to be able to do. But we'll take it a day at a time. This was kind of what we had expected. So, you got to be able to have a plan for, both he or Brett, and then we'll move forward, and we'll be excited about the op on Sunday.
Coach, at this point in the season, are you getting what you want out of Kobe Turner and Byron at this point?
I think those guys have done a really nice job, Dennis. I've been really pleased with the intent that they have every single day. I think when you look at it, one of the most important things to measure, especially as you're looking at rookies that are gaining a lot of experience, are they getting better? Are they continuing to improve? Are they coachable? Are they accountable? Is that showing up with, maybe not show up on the stat sheets, but the production within the framework of the defensive call and the intent where some of their play ops arise? And I have been really pleased with those guys. I really like the way that they approach the game. I like their football character. I like, just some of the things that we've seen from them through 8 weeks, and been super pleased with both those guys.
What makes Byron such a unique talent? The speed and so forth?
I just think the way that he plays, he's got a relentless motor. He puts a lot of work in, physically in the weight room, and just some of the different things that he does with our strength staff, and even going back to, his experience as a stud collegiately. And so it's just one of those deals where you see the work paying off. I've seen a guy that's continued to grow. We're asking him to do a lot of different things than what he was doing at Tennessee, from the outside linebacker spot, from a sub rusher position. And you see a relentless motor. You see a guy that's getting increased understanding of how to utilize his toolbox as a rusher, and a guy that plays hard every single snap, which I think is a measure of his football character. And I think you can say a lot of those same things about Kobe Turner.
Just to clarify, but can Matthew Stafford currently grip a football?
Making good progress. Yeah. You have to ask him on that stuff, you got to talk to him. So, well, then that's Artis's fault.
Who's going to wear your dot?
Jordan Fuller. Yeah.
Do you expect Rob to play on Sunday?
Again, it's one of those deals that's coming all the way down to the wire. The muscle stuff, especially when you talk about a calf, is tricky. If not, feel a lot of confidence in Joe Noteboom.
Does this
The questions annoy me.
With Stafford status, Rob, now Ernest Jones out. Does this feel at all like kind of how the dominoes started?
No, you know what? It's unfortunate. It's a part of it, and I feel for those guys first and foremost, because they want to be available. They don't want to have to work through these types of things. And it's one of those deals that, man, hey, you're either going into a storm, you're either in one, or you're getting ready to go back in one. And so how we navigate that, I think, is going to be key. There's a lot of football left. hey, no matter what, are we a better football team with those three guys? No question about it, Gary. If none of those guys are able to play on Sunday, we've prepared this week for the other three guys that'll step up in their voids. The ball's going to be kicked off, and we got to be able to figure out how to play good team football, make good decisions, enjoy the opportunity to go cut it loose. And you got to believe that too. I'm not going to sit here and say that you don't want those guys to be available, but I think the worst thing you can do is start to say, oh, man, you start feeling sorry for yourself. Man, we've been here before. We're not going to do that. I don't believe we have that in our locker room. And I do look at it as an opportunity of, okay, hey, it's really important to those other guys that might get that opportunity, and how can we pour into them and allow them to be able to shine in their talents, to be able to, show themselves with an enjoyment for cutting it loose, going and competing, and making sure that this is always a blessing and never a burden for us.
For Sunday, when you guys are like taking him all the way up to game time, does that mean he's going to get like an on-field workout? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I think it would be, and there might be some situations where if you say, okay, realistically, could we have an idea, he's going to make the trip, do all those types of things. Could we have an idea on Saturday night that it's more likely than not that he's not going to go? Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that that couldn't be a possibility. But what I do think is important is with things like this, especially when it's outside of my expertise, hey, oh man, I am able to grip it and be able to throw this thing around and do the things that are required to be able to go play the quarterback position the way that he can. If he's able to do that, 90 minutes before kickoff, I think it'd be silly to not leave that open. I think it'd also be silly for us not to prepare for the scenario if he doesn't go, and that's why the week of preparation, because he's not practicing, you're kind of doing that organically, and so we'll see what that looks like, but ultimately it would be, a lot of those things, and there certainly would need to be a demonstration of utilizing the skills and the tools that we would expect of him playing the quarterback position.
And then
Last one.
with Joe, he's played all over.
I know, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, what did you see on Sunday? Because I'm not total expert here, but like when looking at some of his isolated reps and everything, it looked like that he seemed kind of comfortable there.
He's done well. I think it's really impressive, Jordan. You look at, okay, he's played left tackle. He started at left guard. He's played right tackle for us. I remember even during the 21 season, Havenstein gets COVID before playing Arizona on Monday night, and he seamlessly steps in against Chandler Jones, who was playing at an elite level. And so Joe is an incredibly valuable piece to us, and his ability to start at multiple spots, both guards, both tackles, and really play good quality football. I think for him, it's the comfortability. You don't minimize, like going from right side to left side. Oh, you can do it. It's like, okay, why don't you go do it? And his ability to do that has been really impressive. We've looked at it like you basically do truly have, he's a starter, whether he's playing guard or tackle, and then he's working through the calf injury that he sustained, against the Colts. And so I've just been really pleased with him, to come back, to do what he did. He's feeling good, the way he played last week, and I thought he did a nice job with a lot of the things that you're talking about against one of the elite pass rushers and pass rush groups in the league relative to some of the pressure that Dallas puts on you. Okay? Thank you, guys.